On behalf of the New York State DEC's Hudson River Estuary Program, thank you for participating in today's training session. Because we can't get out and see one of our recently completed Vista demonstration sites, I will be giving you a virtual tour of the newly created view at Mills Norrie State Park. I will specifically highlight best management practices used during tree removal and describe the subsequent restoration currently in progress. Let's begin by taking in the view. The Hoyt family once enjoyed 5 views from their 19th century Hudson River estate, but since that time, tree growth has completely blocked them. This scenic vista, recreated in the spring of 2020, now serves as a publicly accessible demonstration for property owners like yourself to see best practices in action. Notice the keyhole view to the distant Catskill Mountains, as well as the filtered view to the Hudson River. The goal of this project was to highlight these features while protecting habitats such as adjacent large forests and natural Hudson River shoreline. So let's explore how we pulled this off. Bring your attention back to the filtered view of the Hudson River. Although maintaining these trees can obscure the view, they provided several key benefits. We are now in the 50-foot buffer area between the cliff edge and the view cut. Try to find the evergreen tree right along the trail. This tree is a northern white cedar, more commonly found in the Adirondacks than Hyde Park. In our region, these trees are only found naturally along the Hudson River estuary, and it is for this reason that the environmental research organization Hudsonia considers them to be regionally rare. Other rare plants use the adjacent cliffs, and bald eagles build nests in mature trees along the river's edge. The shoreline trail that traverses this cliff offers a secluded environment for taking in Hudson River views. This buffer area and newly planted northern white cedars within the view cut will help to obscure the view from the trail toward the Hoyt house, maintaining a sense of remoteness for trail users. To maintain wildlife habitat within the cleared area, our team focused on retaining dead wood left on the site. Often, a park manager's first instinct is to remove unsightly branches, logs, and dead trees. Where it was safely possible, we tried to retain these features, and brush piles were an easy way to do this. They create wildlife habitat for birds, rodents, and rabbits, which often bring in predators like coyotes, foxes, and raptors. These piles eventually break down, adding nutrients back into the soil and enhancing plant growth for those remaining trees and shrubs. They also serve to lessen erosion, especially where vegetation has been removed and soil has been disturbed. Best of all, they appear purposeful to park users and naturally disappear over just a few years. More deadwood can be retained on site by installing logs along elevation contours to control erosion, provide habitat, and regenerate the soil over the coming years. They can help replace costly synthetic erosion control materials that are often not removed from the site and can end up becoming unsightly garbage that is also harmful to wildlife. Leaving standing wood is also important, and so we left this tree at the edge of the clearing. We were able to do so safely because it was far away from any trail or other public gathering space. When dead trees, often called snags, are well away from trails and important infrastructure, they should be retained to provide habitat for decomposers, woodpeckers, and all the wildlife that will end up using the woodpecker holes as shelter. Don't let me underemphasize the importance of leaving some large live trees close to the view. You can see that several large oak trees were left in the clearing to provide visual interest, but also as perches for birds, and to provide food for wildlife in the form of acorns. Shagbark hickories and any other large trees with furrowed bark can also serve as an important summer roosting habitat for bats. Because bats are so imperiled in our region, we left as many hickories as possible and made sure to finish cutting trees before April 1st to avoid unintentionally killing sleeping bats. Finally, after the clearing was complete and dead wood was set in place, a team of volunteers returned in the fall of 2020 to plant about 225 shrubs and short trees. The plantings were protected from deer browse by 3 different methods in different parts of the cut. Traditional tree tubes were protecting short trees at the base of the hill. Brush was piled high around shrubs along the middle portion of the slope, and an 8-foot deer fence was installed at the top of the hill. This fence not only protects tender young shrubs, it also deters park users from creating social paths through the clearing to get to the Hudson River below. Invasive plants were cleared during the initial tree cutting, but management of these fierce competitors and native tall growing trees will need to continue for several years to ensure that the planted species eventually dominate the site. Ultimately, our desired future condition is a natural looking forest clearing with unobstructed views toward the Catskill Mountains and Hudson River. Thank you for taking this virtual tour of the Mills Norrie State Park Vista demonstration site. I hope you choose to visit sometime soon, and I of course welcome your questions and comments regarding our work there. You will be happy to know that our program will maintain the clearing as productive wildlife habitat while continuing to preserve one of the Hudson Valley's many world-class views.